Hi, this is Yuri with the Poisonwood Bible. A Baptist preacher, Nathan Price, takes his wife Orleana and four daughters, who are Rachel, Leah, Ada, and Ruth May, to the Congo as missionaries. Nathan feverishly tries to convert the townspeople to Christianity, but his attempts are all failed efforts. In Congo, a drought hits, and the townspeople arranges a hunt in which Leah participates. Nelson finds a poisonous snake in the chicken coop, and the snake bites Ruth May on its way out and she dies. After her death, Orleana takes her daughters out of the town, but Leah decides to remain in the Congo as Anatoly's wife. Rachel marries three men, and the last leaves her a luxury hotel, which she spends the rest of her life running. Ada goes to medical school in Atlanta and becomes a successful epidemiologist, believing science as a religion. Orleana lives the rest of her life filled with guilt over Ruth May's death, and in the last section of the book, Ruth May forgives her. The major characters are Nathan Price, who is an overzealous Baptist minister, Orleana Price, wife of Nathan, who is beaten down by her husband's fanatical views, and later takes on full control of her and her children's fates. Rachel Price, the first daughter, Leah Price, the second daughter, and Ada Price, Leah's twin sister, and her hemiplegia restricts her from using the left side of her body and is a brilliant observer who devotes her life to science. Ruth May Price is an adventurous 5-year-old who is later killed by a snake, and Anatoly is an intelligent English-speaking schoolteacher who ends up marrying Leah. The setting is a small village in Congo around 1960, and around that time historically, United States secretly sabotaged the Congo's hard-won shot at independence by masterminding a coup that included the assassination of elected President Lumumba, replacing it with a dictatorship. First major theme is the suppressed individuality of women and sexism. Orleana Price and her four daughters struggle with the society's expectations for how women should behave, and they have to deal with Nathan Price, who represents the most sexist social expectations for women, and also face the sexism in Congo. Both forms of sexism is the idea that women belong within the home and should follow their husbands. This impacts the flow of the novel, considering that it is told by the women's points of views, as they first abide by the rules set by society and later on attains a greater degree of autonomy and independence, showing the obliteration of sexism. The second major theme is the fact that religion has the power to be a force for good or evil. So Nathan Price is too obsessed on the Bible's specific teachings that he neglects the overall themes of Christianity, such as love, compassion, and friendship. Because of this obsession, he fails in converting the townspeople to Christianity, and the novel shows through his failures that even though religion itself isn't bad, it can always be dangerously used in the hands of certain people. This theme shows that religions can be poisonous at times, showing how religion was used for selfishness with Nathan Price. However, the definition of religion changes at the end through Brother Fowles defining religion as one that gives peace to those who worship it. The third major theme is the differences in race and culture that can lead to arrogance. Nathan Price considers the Congolese as ignorant and unenlightened people, treating them with superiority. And in the other hand, the Congolese finds the Prices just as strange, and the villagers consider Nathan as a pathetic fool who is completely unaware of how to feed himself or navigate his way through the jungle. This theme shows how it's innate human nature to judge others based on prejudices, and this theme is upheld throughout the book. The first literary device that is used is a paradox, and Orleana uses this by saying the forest sucks life out of death. This contrasts the both good and evil of the forest, and through this, the author is able to include both the beauty and capability of the forest and also its dangerous mysteries within. The second literary device is the allusion to the Bible. And this reference to the Bible is used in order to portray that Nathan believed it was his duty in life to get rid of the native culture, ultimately rejecting the reality of Congo. The third literary device is analogy, and Orleana uses analogy to compare herself with the Congo. She compares both as something that was conquered and is enslaved by Nathan and men, and by using this device, the author shows the extended oppression of both women in society at that time and countries that were inhabited with imperialism. The fourth literary device is irony, and when Nathan is lecturing the person who is being loved and kind, and the fact that he's lecturing him about loving the Lord, that is irony because It just is. And the author uses this in order to show how selfish and arrogant Nathan is. Even though he's receiving help, he believes that the help isn't something that he should be thankful for. The four questions are, why doesn't Nathan Price get to tell his side of the story? And I believe that since the novel focuses on a lot of guilt and Nathan doesn't feel guilty about his actions, unlike the other women, that is why he doesn't get to talk as much in this. And why do you think the book is called the Poisonwood Bible? Because Nathan Price is ignorant of the Congolese culture and preaches that Jesus is a poisonous plant, this shows arrogance. And the third is, when Ada becomes able to fully walk, does she change as a person? And I believe that no, she doesn't change as a person because she still holds her past characteristics. And the fourth is, would you have stayed in Africa and married an Natalie? And yes, I would have if I had truly loved him. My favorite quotations are when Ada says that she can learn new things from reading something back to front. And I like it because it truly captures the difference of Ada from her family. And the second one is when Ada talks about how she believed that her own life was precious even though she was crooked. I liked this because it was such a different point of view from the usual cynical Ada. And the third one was when she talked about death, and I liked it because it sounded like such an impactful beginning, and it was just beautifully written. And the fourth was that Ada talked about the circle of life through the quote, and I loved her observation about it. So my unique discoveries were that the author actually grew up in the Congo for 2 years during her childhood and recorded in her diaries of how completely different Congolese culture was compared to hers back in America. And that she wrote this book in order to expose and deal with what she believed was a crime, the United States' participation in overthrowing a president to replace it with a dictator. My final analysis is that I only read the chapters told in the perspective of Orleana and Ada, but those chapters were very interesting and that I actually wanted to complete the whole novel. I just didn't have the time to do so. And I love the writing technique of the author and thought that the novel was very beautifully scripted, and especially loved Ada's chapters because of her realistic and cynical way of viewing life and its events.